Karen from County Fairgrounds USA, countyfairgrounds.net. Welcome to today's podcast.
Do I have the Unicycling Unicorn on the line with me?
This is the Unicycling Unicorn.
Hi, Mr. Jamey. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm a doing. So the inevitable first question is, how in the world did you become? I have to ask. The first thing that comes to mind is, how did you become the Unicycling Unicorn?
Well, it's a interesting story. So I got started unicycling because my grandma, she had one. She bought it at a garage sale for the grandkids, and whenever we would visit her, she kind of lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere. My brother and I would practice, and eventually we learned, and I started competing with it and traveling, nationally and to some of the world championships. And I never thought I could do it as a job. It was just a hobby. And then I went to school, got a mechanical engineering degree, and after 4 years of having a job at a medical company, I just couldn't take the corporate world anymore. I just hated the 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, in a small cubicle with no windows. It literally felt like jail. I was like, trapped. You don't get much vacation the first couple of years, and I like to travel, and so after 4 years, I was like, I can't do this for 40 more years. Like, I'm going to go crazy if I keep, having to do this. So I quit, moved to California, and I was just kind of a surfing bum with some friends, just kind of trying to figure out what else I can do in my life. And I saw a street performer, and he was performing in Venice Beach, and I was like, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can actually turn my juggling unicycling into a job. And so that's what I did. And that was 15 years ago, and I've been a full-time professional unicorn ever since.
Okay, what happened to your brother? Did he continue?
No, he kind of fizzled out. He was a couple years older, and he got interested in girls and cars, and so he kind of stopped doing it. And he was always the older, better, wiser brother, so I could finally beat him at something eventually because he stopped and I kept practicing, and he still knows how to do it, but he doesn't do it nearly as much as I do.
I would bet that you're in a lot better physical shape than your brother, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so, yep. Yep, mentally and physically.
So tell me, what was your first gig that you got paid for? Do you remember?
Ooh, well, I started out street performing, so that's not a paid gig. That's just going out on the streets and doing a show and asking for money from anyone that watches. My first paid gig was, that's a good question. Because I street performed for many months, just kind of getting my show together and figuring out what to do and what to say and how to connect with the people and the audience. And I would have to look up my records. It might actually.
It's okay.
It might be Knott's Berry Farm. They have like a Halloween thing going on every October, and I juggle fire and do some fire, and I think I got hired to do some fire juggling in that, and that was probably my first paid gig.
Yeah, Knott's Berry Farm is they try all kinds of stuff, and they're open to all kinds of things. I've noticed that throughout the years.
Right.
Okay, so dare I ask your age? I'm curious.
Oh, sure. I'm 42 right now, but I act and feel and look like I'm 32.
Are you married?
I was married. I tried that, and that also didn't work out. So right now I am not married, but I was. actually was married to an Australian actress, and she was pretty well known in Australia, and it was kind of fun. We would do a lot of red carpet events and stuff, and I actually lived in Sydney with her for 5 years when we were married, so that was a whole nother side of my story, I guess.
Do you have any kids?
No kids. Nope, no kids. We had a golden retriever, but he's no longer with us, but that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so I take it you have performed in other countries besides the United States.
I have. I travel the world usually. I haven't traveled much since the pandemic, but I've performed, I think, in 12 different countries. So, Canada, U.S., Australia, New Zealand, and then Korea, like South Korea, Singapore, and a bunch of European countries like France and Amsterdam, England, Ireland, Germany, Spain, Switzerland. So yeah, a bunch of them. And I keep looking for new ones to go to. So.
Oh, okay. So what do you think some of your best experiences have been?
Oh, they're all amazing. Like, I love traveling. I love, finding out about different cultures and seeing different people and learning about them and learning, like, how my show is different and works differently in different places. Like, some jokes work better and I have to modify my show as I, go to different places because sometimes the jokes don't work and so it's kind of a fun challenge to kind of figure that out as I go. But some of my favorite places are Canada. Like, they just have a really good culture for street performing, and they have a good sense of humor. They're very generous for tips and applause and laughing. So that's probably my favorite country to perform in.
Okay.
But I like them all. Like, I just like traveling and making people happy.
Have you had bad experiences? That goes with performing. I'm kind of curious. I get different answers from different performers.
Not a lot, but yeah, sure. Of course, there's always, a few bad shows every now and then. Sometimes it's because of me. Maybe I'm just not in a good mood, and the audience can sense it. And, if I'm not in a good mood, then they're not in a good mood, and it just ends up being a mediocre show. Luckily, I haven't really gotten that hurt doing my shows. Like, it is pretty dangerous. I'm juggling some dangerous stuff, and of course, I'm 12 feet high, so if I do fall, I will get hurt. I did fall in one show. I was on a stage, and I had a mechanical issue with the 12-foot unicycle, and I fell. My knee came up and hit my chest, and I broke a couple ribs. So that was probably my worst show/injury. And every now and then, street performing, you get some weird people in the audience, maybe some, drunk people or people on drugs that come in and do something stupid. So I try to deal with it as best I can. Sometimes I'll just call the, security or police and have them come, and just by me, talking over the mic with my phone, talking to the police scares the people usually away. So that's a good way to kind of get rid of them. They'll, just kind of like, oh, we better leave. And sometimes I'll just even like pretend I'm calling, and I won't actually make the call. And that's just enough to kind of like make them think like, oh, we might get in trouble, we better leave. Doesn't always work, but most of the time it's a good little trick of the trade to kind of, keep some of the bad people away.
Okay, Jamey. You must be in really, really good physical shape to do what you do. Yes?
I am. It takes a well-balanced diet to stay on top of the unicycle. And when I'm not performing, I'm always outside doing something fun. Like I really like to mountain unicycle. So it's like mountain biking, but you only have half a bike. And so I do that a couple of times a week. I just love being in nature and doing all these cool, fun, amazing trails. Some other activities I do to stay in shape. I rock climb when I can, and then play frisbee golf. And then just some more relaxing things, like I'm learning like guitar, and I still like to practice juggling and unicycling every now and then, just to kind of keep up my skills and make sure I don't lose anything. So yeah, I'm very active, and I don't like just sitting on the couch and watching the TV. Like I don't have a house, like I don't have a TV, so I'm forced to do stuff because I'm always traveling, and I have a camper van that I travel in, so it's kind of nice not having that choice of getting sucked into some of the stuff that might not be so fulfilling for me or satisfying.
So, do you do your own booking, or do you have a booking agent?
I do almost all of my own booking. I do have a lot of downtime during the week because most of the fairs and festivals are Friday, Saturday, Sundays. So during the week, when I have time off, I'll go to a library or coffee shop, and I'm sending out emails all the time to different fairs and festivals, sometimes calling. And I do have a couple agents. I don't get a lot of work through them, but every now and then I'll get, something through them. But yeah, I just have a lot of spare time, so I prefer to kind of cut out the middleman and just do it myself. And it's been working out. It's been working out well. And now that I've been doing it for 15 years now, a lot of times I don't even have to apply. Like, it's repeat customers, so they'll come back to me, or someone will see me at a fair or festival and ask if I can do theirs. So a lot of it's just kind of word of mouth now, and it's kind of nice because people will come to me, so I don't have to go to them sometimes.
So have you ever seen anybody else do what you do? I'm curious, because I haven't seen anybody like you before.
There's a lot of other unicyclists, like tall unicycle shows. It's not super common, but there's a lot of tall unicycle acts out there. Mine's a little bit different because my tall unicycle is a lot taller than most people use. Most performers that I've seen use a 6 or 8 foot, and so mine's 12 feet. So it's a little bit taller, a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more exciting. And then, of course, I now have the unicorn theme, which is pretty unique to, most unicycle acts. Is just kind of a suit and tie kind of, performer, where now I have the rainbow ski suit kind of unicorn theme, which is kind of fun because it kind of makes me different than the other performers, and it's just kind of quirky and fun and silly.
Okay, so I take it you've done county fairs in the United States?
I haven't really done a lot. I've done a few. I haven't really, it's funny, I'm from the U.S., from Minnesota, but I haven't really tapped into the U.S. market that much. I've done Europe, I've done Canada, I've done Australia, and I'm just now starting to realize, like, the U.S. is huge, and there's so many state fairs and county fairs. I should really try to get my foot in the door. So I actually just did my first 2 conventions last year, the IAFE trade show and convention and the WFA. And so I'm just kind of now starting to get my foot in the door. And I got one county fair in Washington booked this year and a bunch of other, like, Renaissance fairs and festivals, but no state fairs yet. So I'm still trying to get in, and I know once I get in a few, word's going to spread, and I'll be able to, do a bunch more. But we'll see what happens. And I think now with the unicorn theme, it sets me apart, so I'm a little bit different, and they're like, oh wow, we've had unicyclists and jugglers, but we've never had a unicorn. So I think I'm ready for them, because I used to have the suit and tie kind of theme, and then a couple of years ago I just felt like I needed something new and exciting and different, and so I came up with that unicorn theme, and it's really helped.
Yeah, I personally don't see you in a suit and tie. I just can't see that. Sorry.
Right.
So did your grandmother get to see you do anything? Did she?
No, so unfortunately when she was alive, I had my engineering, job, and then she ended up passing away before I actually, turned it into a job. But the funny thing is, when I did my first street show in Huntington Beach, I was, working really hard. I was doing all my hard tricks. I was, sweating, and like I didn't know how to perform, and so I only made like $2 in an hour, and I was like frustrated, and I was like packing up, giving up. I was like, this isn't gonna work. Like I thought it was a good idea, but $2 in an hour, like no, I can't live off of this. And as I was packing up, this old lady comes up to me and she hands me a $20 bill. She's like, I've been watching you for a while over there, and you're really good at what you do. Keep doing what you love. And so like a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I can make this work. And if it wasn't for this random stranger, I might not have ever tried it again. So it's amazing how one person can change your life just by doing a random act of kindness. And my grandma had passed away at that time, like she was no longer with us, and so I like to think it was like my grandma's spirit kind of encouraging me. I in a way it was like her kind of saying, keep trying, keep doing it, you'll find a way. And so I think that's just kind of neat how it kind of came full circle in a way.
So I would bet that the kids absolutely love you.
The kids love it, and surprisingly, sometimes the adults like it more than the kids. Depending where I'm at, and what kind of show I can, like, if I can throw in some adult jokes for the adults to keep them laughing, it's fun, because usually the kids don't get some of them, and that way it's good for the whole family, because a lot of, kid-oriented shows, they're kind of, I don't want to say lame, but they're, like, for adults, they're just, like, not that entertaining, like they've seen, a million different kid shows, and they're kind of bored of it because they don't laugh that much, and, the kids like it, but the adults not so much. So I like my show because I can kind of mix in some things for the adults too, and so usually, if I do it right, you have kids laughing, you have adults laughing, you have grandparents, teenagers, people of all ages, all races, just having a good time together.
Okay, all right. So where are you going next?
So right now I'm in Kansas. I'm at a festival here, and I'm gonna head to Denver for the Unicorn Festival this weekend, which is perfect for my show. Like I fit right in.
Okay, all right. Well, do you want to give people your website address and your phone number in case they're interested in booking you? Because you'll get a lot of hits from this, I think.
Sure, yes. If you just Google the Unicycling Unicorn, you'll see my website, my Facebook, my Instagram, all that fun stuff. It's just the unicyclingunicorn.com. But if you just Google me, I'm the first one that pops up, the only one that pops up so far. And then if you want to email me, it's just info at unicyclingunicorn.com, or you can message me on Facebook or Instagram, all that fun stuff. Or you can always call me too. My phone number is 612-770-6610.
Okay, Mr. Jamey, there's one parting question I have for you. You're in your 40s.
Sure.
How much longer are you going to do this?
I hope I'm doing it when I'm 90. I might have to scale down. Maybe I won't do some of the more physical, dangerous things. Like maybe I'll switch to a 6-foot instead of a 12-foot. But I love making people smile and laugh, and I think if I'm not doing it, I'm gonna not be happy because it makes me happy, making other people happy. So I think even as I get older, I'm still gonna want to perform, and we'll see what happens. But I hope to do it as long as I can, physically and as long as I'm in good shape. I'm going to try to keep healthy, and we'll see what happens.
Well, have a good weekend. The Unicorn Festival has lots of kids.
Yes, well, thanks for having me, and all the best, and hope to see you around.
Thank you, Jamey. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good day.